In the book, Partnerships and Networks, I describe how you can develop a strategy that will help you have a pipeline of projects that will support your programs, or in the case of a business, your products and services. Okay, so basically, what a pipeline of projects and of course funding help you is that it's a constant effort that the organization makes, and it's a process by which you meet the financial requirements with your outputs, your products, your production. Okay, so basically, as you can see in the book, Partnerships and Networks, these are different concepts that I share, basically that help you design a strategy, an initiative, an entrepreneurship project, your own, your own project, personal project, to develop some kind of product or service that will intervene in the marketplace or in the geography you are concentrating in, and will help you change what those standards are. Okay, so as you can see here in chapter 3 is where we develop partnerships. Is where in the book I describe partnerships. And basically there, what I'm saying is that we describe 3 stages in order to develop a partnership. And also, and within those 3 stages, you have, 13 steps that you will follow, and that will make your partnership something that is credible to your partners, to your audience, and to your marketplace, your clients, your community, and also those that are the collaborators that work with you. Let's jump to chapter 3, partnerships, and see what the guide that we developed. We've been using this for about 10 years, and these steps, they look for you to find out which is the perfect partnership you could encounter with a company, with an organization. The original model was designed for CSR, right? So it was social responsibility, corporate social responsibility, and then we widen it to any organization, because we saw the results that people started using it in other ways, not only with the CSR model. Okay, and this is understandably because the CSR model is still getting to be known. The ISO 26000 was only, what is it, 10 years old or 8 years old. So these standards are being picked up by actors on the marketplace and legislations and these different institutions that are present on the marketplace. But so the idea here is to see the relationship that the benefits that companies get from the marketplace, but also the benefits that those stakeholders or partners also get. So here are the 14 steps that we already discussed. Okay, the first stage is focused on the organization itself. How good your delivery platform is, because you need to see what are your capacities, your shortcomings, your challenges, and you need to know that in order to find the right partnership. So the strategic platform, we say here, how is the mission, their vision, the objectives? Do everyone know? Are all programs aligned with those objectives? So that's the first step. And here we mentioned this is very important, since a clear understanding of what stakeholder the organization represents gives a better idea of the types of company that might be motivated to provide support. Even though the company's CSR model is aimed at integrating all of the categories, the importance companies place on each one is strategic and will therefore determine the type of activity they carry out, for instance. And this has to do with materiality of your footstep, no? So it says that you should focus in a strategic way with those stakeholders and partners that are helping you mitigate those higher numbers in your self-evaluation of your impact on the social, environmental, and economical. Okay, so basically what it says that if you focus better who you are and how you're doing and what are your challenges and etc., you'll be a better partner, and therefore it'll be easier to find a partner. The step 2 is the typical SWOT analysis. Your strengths, weaknesses, those are internals. Those are part of the organization, of your company, of your effort, of your family business. So the SWOT analysis, and then your opportunities, and also the threats. And then, if you know how to do the SWOT analysis, you say, well, how can I change a threat into an opportunity? We did it in one market in the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic. We developed a second-tier solution, an intervention in the financial markets that were giving microloans. Microloans was the solution for development throughout the 90s and 2000. Those 20, 30 years, all of the efforts were done in order to use microfinance to help, build or to help the most needed into setting up their own business, into participating into the market with mortgages and loans, etc. So for instance, a threat was that because that market was at the base of the pyramid, well, we translated into an opportunity by creating a solution. All right, so this is do it with your team. That's the idea there, and it's very interesting. And then on a step 4, this is interesting: identification of organizations' needs that could be met through CSR models or through your partnership. What are those weaknesses, challenges that could be met by a corporate alliance? We did it with several internal capacities. We did it with an organization, and we brought in, and these were people that were, they were accustomed to do business with large corporations, and they helped us through a process, and it helped them to better understand NGOs. So this is very interesting to find out. Okay, so at stage 2, you go into the market and you say, and it's the same as I will explain in a little bit, your strategy. You remember there's 4 steps into your strategy and how you go into the marketplace. Well, this one also has to do with that. And first of all, on step 6, you identify the productive sectors where support might be found. Okay, so if you're working, because this is, very going back to what I was saying, let's say that that you're working in order to clean the ocean, right? So first of all, or you're trying to bring a solution into that market. You being a fintech, a govtech, or whatever kind of entrepreneurship effort that you're doing in order to, provide a service that will also help clean the oceans. Well, it would be good for you to find out who are the most polluters, because there, what you need to know to understand is as much they pollute a lot, there are also the change agents that can change the most. All right. So strategically, you should try to think of them as your stakeholders and try to see, well, what, a lot of times value chains don't work properly, and because of lack of information. So an intervention there that usually a GovTech, a FinTech does is set up a website, to set up a service online, very light, very inexpensive. So those two can meet, and then you solve a big issue. So remember that we're trying to solve those issues, and so going into the ones that you feel are mostly responsible for the marketplace, or mostly responsible for the sales. All right. So if you know that there is 3 different stores that have 60% of the demand, and you're going to set up something online in order to meet demand and supply in a better way, well, that's it. Concentrate on those. Also, identification of the companies that might provide support. There you go and review and you say, well, which of those companies are really doing something? And then on stage 3 is where you apply this strategy, all right? So you go into, once the detailed list of companies that could include the organization in their CSR model has been made, a more strategic type of planning should begin concerning and how to make the firms see the importance of supporting the organization. So you go and you try to identify why they should do it. Why would you do it if you were in their shoes? A lot of times businesses, but also institutions, governments don't know of something that could be solved very easily. And today with digital inclusion and digital transformation of our lives, this can be done in a very inexpensive and productive way. And through entrepreneurship, you keep private property of what you're doing. And this also ignite more solutions of that type, right? Because there's more actors that are using the digital world. But here in this part of the guide, you develop the strategic actions, right? So what are the reasons why they should invest in you? What are the proposals? Are you, in Mexico, I developed within the CSR model about 2000, but it's very large. The CEMEFI, the Centro Mexicano para la Filantropía, uses. I enter once a year. They have a review of all their. They have a system in order to companies evaluate themselves in terms of their social, economic, and environmental. And so this process, helps them identify, but also coming up with mitigating actions that can help solve the issue. And in the case of there, we developed with one organization 4 indicators that a lot of companies just didn't know. And then, you come out with the second bit, how they can use it. How can they use this capacity that they're getting through a partnership with you in order to improve their business? Determine the benefits for the organization, and also development of projects for sustainability. That's step 12. So on step 12, what you do is you develop a process. And I think I share a basic matrix that you can use. And for any entrepreneurship, any project initiative. And it has project impact, investment, and risk and assumptions. It's very basic. And then I share with you how you could use case studies in order to have your own knowledge and see how this knowledge helps you, maintain your strategy and keep it up to date. Review it once, once every 6 months, etc., with the team. So that's it. Remember, all of this is in my book, Partnerships and Networks. You can find the online version on Amazon. And also you can go to my website, maxbrand.net, to review other videos and stories about this subject. Thank you.